Hello, Go Homie. I'm Bella Bowman.
And I'm Elijah Stock.
And GPATV starts right now.
Final time. Ready, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Did you go to Stakeholders Day to celebrate Go Homie's 25th anniversary?
If you didn't, here are some highlights. Now let's take a look.
This year's theme for Stakeholders Day focuses on Go Homie's past, present, and future. I would like to use this year's theme as a way to thank all those who made and continue to make Go Homie the special place that it is.
happened to be out of town during stakeholders, but based on that video, it looked like a blast.
It was a blast. I was posted at Miss Primo's stand, and I was doing characters, so if you weren't there, you were missing out.
Seems exciting. Now on to Pablo's story on the computer science teacher.
In high schools around the country, teachers work hard so that students can get an excellent education and prepare them for their post-high school education. Teachers even prepare them for the real world, as well as help them learn skills that can only benefit them. Film class teaches students what it's like to work in the film industry. Music production teaches students how to produce music, and etc. One teacher who teaches at Guahomie via Palomar College does exactly that. His name is Mr. McIntyre, a computer science professor and founder of Servant Corp.
The parts are being shipped.
Mr. McIntyre comes to Guahomie on Mondays and Wednesdays where he teaches juniors and seniors about web development and design. Last semester, he taught his students how to create websites via HTML and CSS. This semester, he is teaching how to program via JavaScript. Though, outside of that, he is the founder of Servant Corp, a company that has worked with various companies like Chrysler, Intel, Motorola, Wells Fargo, Nokia, Dell, and other companies.
I got into computers in general when I was in the 11th grade, sitting in the school library, and there was an article in Popular Electronics, and on the front cover of that was a kit computer, and that was my turning point in my life. I read that article, and I was into computers ever since. So the way I started my company is first I worked for a number of years in an existing computer company that did computer consulting, training, software, hardware development. So I worked with that company, understood how the game is played, and then as I learned it, I said, you know what, I can do this as good or better. And so I started my company first part-time, and once I had enough customers, I then made it full-time. Interestingly enough, one of my first major customers was the company that I actually left. You do this interval, but I'm gonna store it in my...
What makes Mr. McIntyre stand out from other teachers is how passionate he is about his class. Discussions are also common in his class, in which he discusses with his students about the tech world and the workforce, bringing in examples from his daily life. He is able to give students a clear idea of what it's like to work in the computer science and to ensure that students understand what is being taught. If students aren't getting it, he takes his time explaining concepts and even asks for feedback from the class to see what he needs to improve in order for students to get the best education possible. His teaching methods all originate from his previous experiences as a teacher. He's taught at various places like UCSD.
So I got into teaching from when I was working at one of these computer companies. A new technology came out, and I went to the local university and said, this technology you need to be teaching. And they said, you're right, why don't you come and teach it? I go, okay. And I did it, and I've loved it, and I've taught ever since. Favorite part of teaching the computer topics is that the material is always new and always changing. And I enjoy learning the new material and then teaching it to students so they'll have hot, very fresh job skills, which is what taking these courses is about.
Thank you. Mr. McIntyre is a great teacher because of how far he'll go to ensure students can learn in his class, as well as the fact that he is passionate about what he's teaching. He involves the class with his lectures and does not hesitate to ask for feedback in order to ensure that the lessons are intriguing and are actually helpful to the class. His experience in the workforce in computer science and as a founder of a company has allowed for students to learn more and more about what it's like to work in the field, making him someone that the students could look up to. He is truly one of Guahomie's numerous great teachers. This has been Pablo Hernandez signing out.
Great story, Pablo. Now on to weather with Alexa.
Hey Guahomie, it's Alexa with your weekly weather. Today's weather will be relatively mild with a high of 65 and a strong chance of rain. The next couple of days will be similar, staying in the mid to high 60s. In other news, there have been huge tornado storms raging through the Midwest the past couple of days. The tornadoes, of which there have been 60 reported within 24 hours, are responsible for the deaths of 3 people. In addition to the tornadoes, dumping rain has made flooding a major problem for the people living there. This has been Alexa with your weekly weather.
Great job as always, Alexa. Also, remember this Friday is a minimum day. We get out at 11:20 a.m.
And no school Monday because of Memorial Day holiday.
And then Tuesday is come to school day for all the seniors.
Yes, make sure you do that, seniors.
Yeah. Now on to sports with Nick.
What's poppin', my homies? It's your boy Nick coming at you with your school sports report. But this week, homie, it has nothing to do with homie sports. In NHL news, the Sharks lost their series to the Blues 4-2. The Blues will play the Bruins in the Stanley Cup Finals. In NBA news, Kevin Durant, the Golden State Warriors, beat the Portland Trail Blazers 4-0 in their playoff series. Whew. The Raptors and Bucks are tied in their series 2-2. They play a game tonight at 5:30. In soccer news, the UEFA Europa League final is next Wednesday at 12 p.m., where Chelsea will play Arsenal. And the UEFA Champions League final is next Saturday at 12 p.m., where Liverpool will play Tottenham. In local sports, the San Diego Gulls are in the American Hockey League Western Conference Finals against the Chicago Wolves. The Gulls tied the series 1-1 last Saturday night with a 3-0 win. The series has moved to San Diego and for 3 games. The next games are Friday and Saturday at the Pechanga Sports Complex at 7 p.m. Go Gulls! That's all I got for today, homie. Now back to the studio.
Now on to an interview on Mr. Davenport by Adriana.
Homie has had a variety of teachers throughout its 25 years. Whether some teachers have been here since the school first opened or just a couple years, they both have been able to experience the joy of teaching here and being a part of the community. Though, for one teacher at the school, this is his first year being able to experience those things. You might know him as the teacher who plays Fortnite. Meet Mr. Davenport.
Hi, my name is Mr. Davenport. I teach chemistry. I teach mostly 10th and 11th graders. I actually didn't really know what I wanted to do until I think my last year of college. And I remember I was in a counseling office and I saw a flyer on the side of my counselor's room, and it was about a teacher education program, and I just was curious about it, and I did a little bit of research. I ended up applying to a teacher education program at UC San Diego, and I just decided, well, I'm just going to apply to it because people have told me growing up that I was able to explain things well to them, and thought maybe I would like teaching. And so I ended up just applying to it, and I actually got accepted, and I went through the program, and here I am now, and I can say I really enjoy teaching and I really like it. So I think it just kind of fell into my lap. I originally didn't think I was going to be a chemistry teacher when I applied to my teacher education program. I actually wanted to be an environmental science teacher, and I wanted to teach AP environmental science. And then when I realized when I got into teaching that the major sciences that you have to teach are either biology, chemistry, and physics, and I ended up getting my credential in both biology and chemistry. And I taught biochemistry last year at a different school, but I really do like it. But for me, at the end of the day, it's not necessarily the subject I'm teaching, it's more, I just really enjoy getting to work with students. Just like any other teacher, I'm here to be a role model for all of our students at GoHomey. First and foremost, I'm supposed to teach them chemistry, so hopefully I'm doing that correctly. And that I'm just trying to be a positive role model and just be somebody that students can come to if they need help or if they want any advice on what they want to do in high school or as they move forward with their life. So just to be a positive role model and to show that I care about my students, which I genuinely do. I would think that my best day is just when I feel that my students are giving me back the same enthusiasm that I'm giving them, because it takes a lot of work and effort and creativity to try to make lessons that are engaging, teach the content that you're supposed to teach, and it's, I guess, really rewarding when you see students respond to that with enthusiasm and excitement, And so I wouldn't say there's necessarily any particular day, but just when I see that my students show that they appreciate the work that I'm doing, and also the work that I'm doing, it has some importance to them, that really makes me feel like I'm doing my job how I should be doing it.
And how does your job here at Guahomie affect your personal life?
It affects a lot because, I'm here early in the morning. I leave, depends on the day, but I can leave pretty late at night, which means, large majority of my life is here at Guahomie, and everything that happens on campus, from the interactions that I have and how well I feel like I've taught lessons, it affects how I feel at home. I think I've grown as a person a lot, just even over the last 2 years being in a teacher education program and now being a full-time teacher. I think I've grown up a lot because of it, and I'm really happy to have had this opportunity. I think I interact with my students very well. I think for the most part, my students and I get along very well, and I think it is because I truly do care about my students, and I think that many of them can see that, and I really want to be a role model and to give them the best advice that I can, and beside that, to also banter with them, to have fun, but at the end of the day, obviously, teach them the content.
So a lot of students here know you as the teacher who plays Fortnite. What other interests do you pursue outside of the classroom?
I like to play sports, not necessarily competitively anymore, but just play around with friends and family. So I'd say I like to be active in terms of sports. I live near the beach, so when I can, I go to the beach quite often. When I get the chance on the weekends, I like to go garage selling, I like to go thrifting, and I like to do that because you can actually find really cool things if you go thrifting and garage selling, and you can get them for good quality items for pretty good price.
Now we know a bit more about Mr. Davenport and his interesting personality as well as his character. It's no wonder why he's such a popular teacher in his first year at our school. This has been Adriana Gonzalez reporting for GPATV.
Great job, Adriana. All right, I've been Isabella Bowman.
And Elijah Stock. GPATV signing out.